What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS, here to bring you guys that NBA slate breakdown for the 9-game NBA slate. Now, yes, we got games going on all day today, but only going to be focused on the main slate over here for DraftKings. So if you guys are looking for information on that, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I drop over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos help you guys win some money. Speaking of money, as you can see yesterday, Core did pretty well. We cashed out. Player pool, of course, it was a small slate, as you guys can see, but still was able to go ahead and put a pool out for you guys over here on the Patreon. If you guys looking for this content right here, that right there is in the link down in the description below for the Patreon right there. It's only $5, $5. So if you don't want to support the channel by just hitting the subscribe button to get the free content, you want the paid stuff, check the link down there and you can support that way as well. Looking up here, of course, I'm giving out FanDuel, giving out DraftKings as well, of course. And then you guys already know, I give you guys the alt lines and stuff. Wasn't bad, but could have been much better on yesterday. It was a small 3-game slate. Still was able to find a couple of props. Was able to put that out. But all in all, wasn't bad. If you pay attention to injury news and stuff like that, we got Jeremiah Robinson Earl. He ended up getting a start. Went ahead and slid him in there instead of Javonte Green because Green didn't end up getting a start, so went with JRE. But wish he got more minutes because definitely he killed it in the limited minutes that he got, but could have been better. Luke Kennard, I swear, if they would have gave me the props for Kennard yesterday, I would have been heavy on the juice threes because he's been lights out lately. Wanted to pull the trigger on Desmond Bane for his assist. I honestly saw him getting a double-digit assist, getting a double-double and everything. But not gonna name any names on my consultant, but it was like, what? So I didn't pull the trigger. Went out there, he got 14 assists. So live and learn, wasn't bad at all. But all in all, on a small slate, really getting different, which of course was to actually playing Anthony Simons, who had a big major second half. Besides him, Luke Kennard just being low owned, which surprised the hell out of me, was pretty good. And then just getting Paul George instead of Tyrese Maxey, which looked very shaky. Paul George, he's handling the ball a lot, but he's turning over a ton too. If he didn't have like 7 turnovers, I think he had yesterday, would have been a little bit better of a scoring night for him. So, but again, made it into the cash, made it into the green, broke the cold streak that we had going on for a couple of days over here for myself. The cores have been pretty great for us, but still getting to see that green for myself, that's good. Confidence boost, continue to stick with the process. Even whenever you have down days, you stick to the process that you have established and that you have narrowed down, and you just keep on going with it. If you guys are looking for more content and stuff like that, my boy BK, he's already dropped his women college basketball stuff. He's also dropped his Unrivaled stuff. So if you guys are looking for some Unrivaled picks and things like that, definitely check that out. And I've already put out my alt lines for today because, of course, like I said, it is a massive slate that we got going on. So again, you guys want to check that stuff out, definitely check the link for that down in the description below. Before we even get over here to DraftKings, got to go ahead and pull up this injury report for today so we can go over that. 9-game slate. So these early games, the Denver and Minnesota, Boston, Dallas, Brooklyn, and Miami, we're not gonna have to worry about those, but only because I've taken it, I'm gonna give it out over here on the stream. Khalil Ware, love the match for him going to against Brooklyn right here. Debating if I want to play an early slate, which I got about an hour to decide if I'm going to enter into a contest, because I really do like the upside for Miami in this spot going up against Brooklyn Nets. It doesn't look bad at all. And then, of course, the hard hitters that we have with the Joker taking on the Minnesota Timber Pups, and then of course Dallas taking on Boston as well. Some decent spots to get some good studs, and there's honestly some good value that we can get. So if you are playing the early slate, Christian Braun is a pretty good value play. Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray, both those guys look very good as well. Over on the other side, as long as Anthony Edwards is in, I like him for his upside and what he can do. If he was to sit, I could see Rob Dillingham being a good value play and also getting another boost in regards to his minutes, but a lot of usage that is going to go to Julius Randle, and we could see a big day from Rudy Gobert, who has played the Joker pretty well. And you guys already know I attack opposing centers going up against Denver, even though it's the Joker MVP caliber, but for whatever reason, they are bleeding points, bleeding rebounds, everything to the center position so far in the season. Boston taking on Dallas. Tatum has the best matchup out of everybody over here on going up against them. JB, don't mind him, but I would rather just go ahead and play Tatum. And then, of course, Porzingis being in the line and playing. They focus to him. They look through some a lot. If you were taking something from this game, I know I've seen a couple people on it already as well, but KP for his first quarter points, that's a good one right there. KP for 2 threes, that's another good one right there that I've been riding along as well. Gafford, he's a drop big. He's not going to go out there and try to protect the outside perimeter. So I could see taking Porzingis. He takes a ton of threes. That would be one I would definitely take. 2 threes, 3 threes. Miniature ladder right there is not bad at all. 4 threes would be the max I would want to take on Porzingis, and then I could see him definitely 15 points in this matchup and spot. So that's a couple of props that you could take right there in that. This Miami taking on Brooklyn. Blue Ware, be very honest, I have already laddered him up for his rebounds, his and his points. I see him being able to go out here and get 25 plus points if this game, even if it blows out, which there's very slim chance that we can see this game blow out between Miami and Brooklyn. Like two honestly bad teams, if we're being honest. They still don't have Jim Butler. He's out. He's holding out all the stuff that he's doing. Khalil Ware has emerged as a very great caliber center, and we saw it during Summer League, which is kind of surprising that it took so long for him to actually be in the starting line or just really cracking the rotation for them. But Ware laddering up his rebounds up to 15. I love that for him. I think I got it starting at 11, 12, 13, 14, and then sprinkle on to 15, and taking him definitely for the double-double, 11 for the double-double, going up against the Brooklyn Nets. And then also his points, like I said, taking it all the way up to, I think I took it up to 25 for his points as well. Just a very big focal point, can stretch the floor. He's taking a ton of threes. 2 threes is another one I took for him as well, just because he is getting the 3-point attempts. Very good from the corner. We know, again, Claxton, another one. He can somewhat defend out there at the perimeter, but another one of those drop bigs as well there again. So love the upside for him. So now looking at the main slate, what we're going to be focused on, Detroit taking on Orlando. Ivy is still out for Detroit. Orlando, Suggs, and Cole Anthony, they participated in shooting around, so I would expect for Suggs to finally be back and hopefully maybe get his starting spot back. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what Orlando does right there, because they're getting back to full strength. France, we saw him come back last game, played, I want to say about 24, 25-ish minutes. Maybe his minutes go up. Paulo coming off of a very bad game. But this spot right here, going up against Detroit, power forwards is a spot that I like to attack. So I definitely like Paulo. Goga was not present at shoot around, so I wouldn't be surprised if he misses and we get Wendell Carter Jr. starting again. Pelicans taking on Charlotte Hornets. Both of these teams are on the back end of a back-to-back. The Pelicans are actually traveling up to Charlotte, so they actually have to travel. Zion missed last night. Would expect for him to be back in play. If he's there, his usage should be through the roof and definitely could be big. Same thing over here on the Charlotte side. Melo and Bridges did not play last night. I expect for them to play tonight, and definitely wouldn't mind getting to either one of those guys. Herb Jones and B.I. still out for the Pelicans. Seth Curry, I want to say he missed shoot around, and same thing with Martin. I'm pretty sure he missed shoot around if I read my notes right. So good usage, just decent plays we can get over here. This would be another game I can see if you want to do like a same game parlay type stack. Let me see, what is the total actually sitting at for this game? Nice little 230 total. When I looked at it over there on LineStar, I know that it says 228 over here, but it's sitting at 230 and that 4-point spread. This is a good game right here to get a game stack, especially once we know who's in and who's out. I can see some upside from this game. Definitely getting some pieces from both sides. Really nice. I actually do it. Same thing for the Toronto Raptors and Atlanta game. These two games I could definitely see making like a nice big same game parlay for both of these. Throw $5-10 on, hopefully hit for a couple thousand. That wouldn't be bad. Toronto side, they're still without Abaji. Quick is still out. Olenek is still out. So we will get Davion Mitchell at the starting spot and more ball handling duties for Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. Atlanta, Trae Young, game time decision, but expected to play here in this spot. No one else to really worry about. Conwell still is the starter. Johnson, he left the game last time. Same shoulder that he injured before he was out for quite some time. Looks like he's going to be missing again. They right now have DeAndre Hunter slid in as the starting power forward. Definitely want to pay attention to that because I know they are missing Ricochet. I think that's how you say his name as well. So be interesting to see. Make sure that we do know that Hunter is going to get the start because decent a spot, especially going against the Raptors. I could see him being able to pop off and have decent day. Houston taking on Cleveland. We just seen this game a couple games ago for them. No real news report for Houston. Jabari's still out for Cleveland. Caris LeVert, he's still been held out and not really playing. Cleveland is on the back end of a back-to-back. They did just play last night. Mobley, game time decision, might be back today. Definitely want to know if he's going to be in or out. Seem like they are pretty content with Max Strus getting that starting spot. I know Dean Wade was originally their starting small forward. So would want to pay attention, but if they do like the floor spread that Strus actually offers, don't hate that at all right there. Kings taking on New York. Fox game time decision. Expect him to play. New York. Josh Hart. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays. It takes a lot for Josh Hart to actually miss a game right over there. Philly taking on Chicago. Backing up back-to-back for Philly. Drumming missed yesterday. Lowry missed yesterday. Cody Martin missed yesterday. Embiid, he's going to be out. We already know that. But definitely pay attention because Philly is one of those teams that does rest and mess with their rotation and stuff like that. But if they're in, this is another one of those games right there where I can see getting some pieces from, especially just because we attacked the Chicago Bulls all season, and I wouldn't mind going right back there. On the other side of things for the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu is the one I want to know if he's in or out because they're already without Kobe White. And if Ayo's out, then Lonzo will get the start. If Lonzo gets the start, play his threes. Play his threes. Play his threes. He takes a ton of threes and he actually is shooting very, very well. Ladder those threes on Lonzo if he gets to start. Utah taking on Memphis. Memphis is on the back end back-to-back. Ja missed yesterday. Wouldn't be surprised if he's actually back today. Same thing for Santi Aldama. On the Utah Jazz side, we already got Sinbad. He's going to be back. They got Laura Larkin back. John Collins is going to be out. They're tanking. We know what they're doing over here for these guys. So nothing else really to report for that one right there. Los Angeles Lakers taking on Golden State Warriors. This should be a rematch of Christmas Day right here. Bron, Anthony Davis, Rui, they're all on the injury report. As always, AD should be good to go. Bron's going to play on the Golden State Warriors side. Peyton, game time decision, expect to play. Same thing for Wiggins. Nothing to worry about right there. Draymond Green is still going to be out for them. Same thing for Kuminga. And last but not least, the Washington Wizards taking on the Phoenix Sun. No news to really report for either one of these teams except for Bradley Beal. He's expected to be back today and actually be back inside that lineup and play for those guys. All right. Head on over to DraftKings, the site I play the most on site. If you guys don't have the account, you want one, please check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. Now, if you guys are picking up the background noise, I do apologize. My wife, she's sitting, well, not even sitting, she's taking a nap right now in the background. Can't see her. Again, I told you guys she is sick. Got some sick people in the house right now. So still, I wanted to give you guys some content because I did miss a day earlier this week, and napping wife allows me to be able to actually go ahead and do these recordings and stuff like that. So all right, I had to pause this for a second because some news that came out. Jalen Johnson showed without timetable to return. Jake Laravia, he's doubtful to play today. Santi Aldama, he's still ruled out. Ja is probable, so Ja should actually be playing today. Looks like we got that. And then the big news, Mark Williams, injury management has been ruled out today. So we haven't gotten the news in regards to Miles Bridges and for Melo, which again, I fully expect for them to play tonight, which, damn, it's crazy. It's crazy. First game up. Damn. All right. Let's see how we're gonna go ahead and break this down. I don't know over here. So if Ball is in, no Mark Williams being out there, that's definitely gonna be really interesting right there to me, because then that means that they're gonna have to start Diabite, I believe that's his name, at that center spot right there. Now that should be who we end up seeing now at the center spot. Yeah, I would imagine that's gonna have to be Diabite starting center now with Mark Williams being out, which of course going up against the Pelicans, you guys know I love attacking with opposing centers in the spot, but no big Mark Williams. Damn, sucks. All right, starting on the Pelican side of things, if Zion is in, good to go. He's still been limited in his minutes, only playing, I want to say, sub 25 minutes a game. But still in the time frame, whenever he's out there, he's been killing it. I would definitely look towards Zion. Don't mind him as a possible contrarian spin up option. Again, he is capped in regards to the minutes that he's playing, but the production that he's given when he's out there is sky high. And on top of the fact of just the minutes and stuff that he does play, it is very good. Outside of that, of course, DeJounte Murray, everything that he goes out there and does. I'm currently questionable tag, but I would be surprised if he misses. 43 fantasy points in that last game going up against Memphis, and then Utah 60.75. Wouldn't mind getting there, 8,500, not bad at all. But again, of course, we got some better spots and things we can look to. Then if you want to mess with CJ McCollum, back in the back-to-back 7,800, along with the travel and everything, put up some decent numbers, but not a driving force that I feel like you have to get to. It would just really be those main three guys over there from the Pelican side, and of course we can look towards, especially since Mark Williams isn't out there, Messi, I believe I'm saying it right, played 30 minutes last night, only 24.25 fantasy points, but not having to deal with the big body of Mark Williams, possibly could see that production tick up a little bit, especially if he is going to be able to go out there and play another 30 minutes tonight. Wouldn't mind getting right there to him. Outside of that, you could definitely take a stab at Trey Murphy. Shoot or shoot, you already know what he's going to go out there and do. Finally broke that streak of at least 2 3-pointers made, but only took 4 attempts versus Memphis last night. You can definitely get back onto that bandwagon. 8,400 though, a bit expensive, especially when I can just go up and get a couple more, get up to Zion at the 4 position or something like that. I don't feel like I need to or have to necessarily play Trey Murphy right there. On the Charlotte Hornets side of things, I don't have to talk about Melo because I know it's Melo. Without Mark Williams being out there, that should open up some more rebounds, things like that from Miles Bridges. Definitely wouldn't mind paying up and getting to him as a potential play right there. And then the value that we have over here, because this is where we can get a ton of value at now in this game. Nick Smith, he's been balling out even with or without Melo and Miles Bridges being out there. Dude's been putting up numbers since he has been put into the starting lineup. Now, the big thing over here for them, and I'm going to have a little bit more at it, but Oh, Martin's already been ruled out. Cool. Cody Martin has already been ruled out. I would imagine. No, no, because Cody Martin started last night for Miles Bridges. If Miles Bridges is out again here and Cody Martin is already out, he would normally come in at that power forward spot. We saw Josh Okogie get the start during the second half for Cody Martin being out. Played 31 minutes, dropped 40 fantasy points, was out there ripping the ball, getting rebounds, scoring. If he was to start for anybody or something like that, definitely, don't even question it. It's the Pelicans. I'm playing Josh Okogie here, 3,100. Definitely will still have him in the pool just for the fact that he is playing a decent number of minutes and he's been producing in those minutes that he's been playing anyway. So I would still look towards Josh Okogie. Said it last night. I'll say it again. Definitely would look towards him. Possible upside play that we can get to, and definitely want to run. Now, if you want to mess with where is he at? If you want to mess with DBJ 3K, I mean, I don't see a world on how he's not at least going to have to go out there and play 25 minutes at 3K. I mean, I think that's our value play right there for the day, man. Like at 3K, no Mark Williams. Who else do they have? I mean, I know that they can dust off Taj Gibson. They've done it in the past, but do we really need to dust off Taj Gibson? Like really? I know the Hornets aren't necessarily trying to win, but still, Taj Gibson is where we starting to look at for something to play. I don't know about that one right there, but I definitely DBT. He's gonna have to be in the player pool. Someone I would definitely consider. Detroit taking on the Orlando Magic. K Cunningham. I mean, the dude's just, there's nothing that has to be said. Just look at it. If you want to fit there, you want to get there, you can. 10-6, but I got Melo. 10-2. I'd rather play Melo if it comes down to it, or Trey Young versus Atlanta, or we got Fox on the slate. If Fox is in, you got Brunson, stuff like that. So not necessarily have to pay for Cade, but you can if you want to. Outside of Cade, I mean, I can see maybe getting toward a Duren. Don't hate that right there, or Tim Hardaway if we think the shots can fall. But I'm not too interested in too much over here from Detroit, except for Cade when it comes down to it. On the Orlando side, again, they came out at full strength. France, he played 24 minutes in the last game. That's where he's going to be capped at. Probably going to play that again here, but Paolo coming off of a bad game. And like I said, I like the match for Paolo here at the power forward spot. 1 for 14. He's not shooting that again. He's not. They lost that game bad because he had a horrible shooting night. I see this as a bounce back spot. If I'm paying between the two main guys over here for them, it's going to be Paolo. And I really do like Paolo at that 8.5 price tag. He should be upwards towards that 9K range. Cole Anthony and Suggs coming back. That's not going to really worry about it. Paolo still owns the usage over here for this team. Still, ball's going to flow through him. He's going to definitely score a lot and things of that nature. Going up to Detroit, fast-paced game. They're going to up the pace right here for Orlando anyway. Definitely, Paolo will be the one I go to. If Cole Anthony and Suggs does sit or they miss or whatever, Anthony Black, he's in contention. Definitely look towards him, 5,300. I can see myself getting there. But outside of that, with everyone getting healthy and coming back, I'm not going to worry about it. Only other person you should consider would be Wendell Carter Jr. once they rule out that Goga is going to miss, because then Wendell should see decent run in minutes. He got himself in the foul trouble last game, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. Over here for Toronto, taking on Atlanta, you guys know Scotty Barnes, Arthur Barrett, both those guys, they own the usage, the main facilitators and guys over here for this team. We definitely go right there to both of those guys. We just seen this game, actually. Yeah, it was the last game that Toronto played, and Scotty, 39 minutes and 39 fantasy points out there for him. RJ Barrett, he went out there 36 minutes, 30 fantasy points. So again, I don't mind either one of these guys. Definitely can't go there. Jacopoto, he actually put up a pretty decent number, 42 and 28 minutes. So those guys definitely see myself getting there. But Bruce fucking Brown, the usage that this dude is owning, coming off the bench and only playing 20 minutes. Now, I get it. He is boosting his trade stock to get his ass out of Toronto. I 110% understand that. But at 4K, you're going to be at least telling me you got a safe-ish floor of about at least 20 fantasy points at 4K. Ain't even got to think about it. Bruce Brown definitely in the player pool. Grady Dick, if he can come out here and he can be hot like what he was to start the game versus Atlanta, like he scored 7 quick points. If he can come out here and do it again, he played 32 minutes finally. If he can actually knock down more of his threes, I do like the upside for him again. I don't mind looking at him at that 4,500 price tag, but if I got to choose between Grady Dick and Bruce Brown, I'm going with Bruce Brown when it comes down to it. Outside of that, GPP option and Chris Boucher, that would be really just it right there for me. On the Atlanta side, again, Jalen Johnson, he's going to be out. DeAndre Hunter, I fully expect him to play. He started the second half for Johnson when he went down. Only gave us 13.5 fantasy points. That's pretty shit. That's honestly very, very shit if we're calling it. But I can see yourself getting there if you want to, just because he's starting decent 6K price tag. I'll go right back to Trae Young. I know he went out there versus Toronto and took him a minute to get going and everything, especially coming off the crappy game that he had versus Detroit. But we're due for a big Trae Young game. 9,600, good price tag to get him at. I don't mind looking for Trae Young in a game that they're going to need him to stay close, especially with Jalen Johnson being out. We should see his assists tick back up, like what we have seen in the past. Definitely, if you want to take Trae for a double-double, take Trae for his assist ladder, something like that. You can see that again. No Jalen Johnson. He was the main person taking a lot of the assists away from Trae Young out there whenever he was back out there on the court. Outside of that, if you want to play 7,500 for Dyson Daniels, you know he's a shoe in to get you a couple of steals out there on a 99 out basis. Been balling out, 47.5 fantasy points. Good out there from him. Upside is there for him. Don't mind that 75, but I will say Aneka Konwu starting. Like, that's what we've been wanting. 6,200. You could definitely go right back there. We have attacks with opposing centers going up against Toronto, and that'll be primarily it for me. Maybe you could take a Sprick or look at Vic Krejci, but that would just be really just begging at that point over there. Houston taking on Cleveland. We just saw this game again. I want to say, what was it? Yeah, last game for Houston, 2 games ago for Cleveland. Shengoat went out there 29 minutes, 39.75 fantasy points. You can look there, a little worried because his minutes look like they've been taken down, which is pretty strange, but 9K, bit much. There's definitely some value at center today that we don't have to pay that. I will say, Ben Thompson, anytime he's on the slate, he seems pretty safe to get me at least over 35 fantasy points, especially when it's a good matchup, and this is a decent matchup for him. We know he's going to stuff the stat sheet. He's going to rebound. He's going to also dish those, get those assists, get the steals and things like that. We can go there. Freddie V, I like him, of course, again over Jalen Green. I said it last time versus Cleveland. Wasn't too high on Jalen Green. I know he's been out there shooting, but that Cleveland defense, they've been doing something in regards to slowing down shooters, and it's working right now. So definitely not gonna mess right there with Jalen Green. I would rather get Freddie V or a man when it comes down to it. Last but not least, my boy Cam Whitmore. You guys know Cam Whitmore truther over here, playing at least 20 minutes. They're going to continue to keep this guy cheap, 3,900. I will continue to look towards him as a safety valve, just going ahead and playing. Now, when it comes down to it between Cam Whitmore and Bruce Brown, I'd rather play Bruce Brown if it comes down to it between Cam Whitmore. Like, that's just straight up being honest. But definitely someone you can look towards if you want to go out here and take him for like 2 threes today. That's something I can see upside for, and I wouldn't mind taking. On the Cleveland side of things, they're on the back end of that back-to-back. That's the thing that worries me. It was a close game too versus a short-handed Phillies team with no Embiid, no Drummond, and things like that. He is in danger of missing his 4th consecutive contest. Dean Wade has already been ruled out. Gorgeous Nang could receive increased playing time. So if he was to miss, I would imagine that they were going to have to start Nang. That's kind of what I would see. So Wade's already out. He got injured yesterday. Now, we have seen them run small, and that's what they did yesterday. And that boy Ty Jerome, he popped. He was 8 for 8 from 3, 33 points, and they still lost that game. That's crazy. But Ty Jerome, definitely someone I would consider outside of the main guys, and Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. You can definitely squeak your way back here. I mean, if you don't got no Dean Wade out there, you're gonna have to actually get him to have an uptick in regards to what he's doing, especially even if Evan Mobley is back, he's gonna be limited, things of that nature. So Garland, Allen, Donovan, and then definitely look at these bench guys, especially if the vert misses. We're gonna have to look towards Nang. We're gonna have to look at Ty Jerome, Max Strus. He's gonna see a couple more shots and things like that for him as well. But Garland, I love his upside actually. 42 fantasy points last time versus them. Now this is a back-to-back. That's the only thing that worries me whenever it comes down to the Cavs guys, especially because they can actually go towards the bench and they don't mind going to the bench. That's the only thing that'll just worry me just a little bit in regards to them. Sacramento Kings taking on the New York Knickerbockers. As long as Fox is in, I love the upside for Fox here. If Fox was to miss, then we already know what we're going to get. We've seen it countless times already. Keon Ellis, he'll get the start. Makes for good value, 3,800. We know whenever he's out there, he can be a great fantasy point per minute producer when he's on the court. I definitely wouldn't mind going there. And then, of course, Monk, he's going to see a lot more ball handling duties, responsibilities. Another one that we can go to if you want to mess with that. But if Fox is in, I do like his upside. We typically know stars like to show out whenever they play out there at the New York court. So I don't mind getting to De'Aaron Fox at the 8,300 price tag. I know he's been a little bit slumped the last 2 games, but we could see him get back up to that 40 plus fantasy point and they've been running their starters some pretty decent minutes since the whole coaching change over there for them. So Darren Fox definitely will be high up on that radar for me. Keegan Murray, I like him as well. DeMar DeRozan, you definitely go there. And then Sabonis, I just feel like this might be one of those spots where we could possibly see him get himself into foul trouble. Again, playing those heavy minutes has been giving us 50s across the board. You can mess with it, but I'm really kind of just not too keen on Sabonis. I do like on the other side, however, Towns, 100 cheaper, rebounding like a beast, especially if Josh Hart was to miss those rebounds. That upside goes way through the roof for Karl-Anthony Towns here in the spot. And I would rather play Towns over here. 63 fantasy points last time versus the Brooklyn Nets, 99 to 95, which shouldn't have even been close, which is just crazy to think that the Nets kept that game close with everything that they had. Looks like Anthony Edwards is going to be in for the Wolves, but Karl-Anthony Towns loves his upside. Definitely be a stud. I wouldn't mind paying up for on today's slate, especially we know the Kings, they play fast. Game possibly could be close, and just I can definitely see Towns 15, 18 rebounds here in the spot for him. A lot of rebound chances out there, especially if Hart misses. Outside of that, of course, we know Jalen Brunson, good play. Mikal Bridges, the two guards actually have been cooking and doing pretty well going up against the Kings. So I can see taking Mikal Bridges for one of those crazy shooting nights that he has, giving us at least 35 plus fantasy points. We know he can go out there and play some pretty good defense. And then the 3-point bonus that we get over there on DraftKings looks pretty good over there on him. Outside of that, not really too interested unless Josh Hart misses. Then we might see not Landry Shamet, but McBride probably would get the start, I would imagine. Or they could go with Landry Shamet, but I would imagine it would be McBride that would get the start there, because then you would just move Mikal down to the 3 instead of him playing the 2, and he would make for a decent value play that you can go to if Josh Hart was to miss. Philly taking on Chicago. Like I said, I really think we should be getting some injury news from here because it's Philly. They've just been wonky with all their lineups and everything that they've done all season. But if it stands how it stands, then Paul George, Maxey, both those guys are in contention and play. Don't mind going to them. Maxey has the best matchup between the two when it comes down to it, and he's been just lighting it up. Going up against a weak Bulls team, I take that right there for him again as well. Wouldn't mind getting there. And then, of course, Yapaselli, opposing centers. We know what they go out here and do. 37.75 fantasy points versus what I thought was going to be a tough matchup for him. He went out there, he killed it last night versus Cleveland. And tonight it's a much better matchup going up against Vooch. So definitely can see myself getting there to him. Outside of that, not really too interested. Kelly Oubre, he's there, but there's better spots and stuff we can go to. Eric Gordon, hell no. Not playing Eric Gordon, especially on the back end of a back-to-back. Not even attempted to go there. If AO does miss, and again we get Lonzo in the starting lineup, I do like Lonzo Ball here, 4,500, good price tag. Again, like I said, he shoots a lot of threes. I would ladder his threes just because he is going up against a Phillies team that does give up a good chunk of 3-point shots to the two guard. So do like his upside at that spot. Outside of that, Vooch, 8,100, stretch to the floor, good spot for him as well. Don't mind getting to him. As another play, 8,100, not bad, but again, we do have good value at the center spot. Outside of that, Josh Giddey did see a decent run last time out, 34 minutes versus the Golden State Warriors, playing pretty good, 39.25 fantasy points. If AO misses, and then of course don't got Kobe White, I'm gonna have to look towards Josh Giddey's way. I know Zach LaVine, he's right there, but I'm not too interested in Zach today. Just think there's some better spots and better things we can get to. Utah Jazz taking on the Memphis Grizzlies on their back end of a back-to-back. For the Jazz, I really like this spot for Walker Kessler. He is cooked earlier this season, already going up against him. When he played, he dropped 47 fantasy points in that matchup. Playing at least 30 minutes right now. Love the upside. Back-to-back 40-plus games versus my Thunder and versus the Pelicans. I like him here. The block upside could be there for him. The rebounds, I know those will be there for him, especially because they're still capping Edey and only playing him 20 minutes. And I wouldn't be surprised if Edey somehow, some way was ruled out today just because it's the back end of back-to-back. And, you know, they're very hesitant with their big guy. So Walker Kessler, probably my favorite play over here from the Utah Jazz. But outside of that, Keontae George, Colin Sexton, definitely can look towards either one of those guys. I will say Colin Sexton, do like his upside a little bit better just because shoot, and versus them when he did play earlier this season, he only played 25 minutes in a game, but he did put up a fantasy point per minute in that game, giving us 25 fantasy points. And if you're gonna tell me he's gonna play 30 plus minutes, I definitely would take the chance on a 7K Colin Sexton. Don't mind that at all. Laurie Larkin, you can look there. Simbash, however you say his name. Whenever he's out on the court, dude shooting, he's chucking. He's like, I don't give a damn about Laurie. I'm getting my minutes. I'm getting my time. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So just do 100. I can see myself getting there if I want to get some type of exposure to the Jazz, but you don't got to force it. No need to or anything like that. On the Memphis side of things, Ja being back, he'd be, of course, de facto number one, well rested going into this. I wouldn't expect Bane or JJ to take a back seat, but Ja coming off a rest versus probably one of the best matchups he can probably get going up against a weak Utah Jazz team. I can see the upside for him for a 45 plus fantasy point game, 9,100, not bad at all. I can see myself getting there. If Ja was to miss, then we'll go right back to what we had last night. Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Luke Kennard, all three of those guys in contention and play. If you want to tip the scale of possible GPP, you can mess with Zach Edey, who in 24 minutes, 39.25 fantasy points. They should need his size. They should need him out there trying to match up against Walker Kessler. Two big center block having centers out there. Both of them actually can stretch the floor, and Edey is not afraid to shoot the threes. Now, he started and played last time versus Walker Kessler. Fouled out of the game. Only played 15 minutes. This is his redemption tonight, going up against him again. If you want to get to Zach Edey, 3,800, I understand it. I can see it. I can see it, but again, just the minute thing is what shies me away from even looking at Zach Edey anytime he's on the slate. Outside of that, we really just gotta get the news on what's going on with if Ja's gonna be in or out, if we won't even mess with anything else over there. Other than that, we don't have to force or try to get something. Los Angeles Lakers taking on Golden State Warriors. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, you guys already know, unless one of those guys misses, I'm not too interested in anyone else over here. There's no need to be. There's no need to try to force it. Max Christie would be the only other person just because he starts. It's in at 4K. You can get to him. We know if the game's close, he's going to play. He's going to get the minutes. So you can definitely go there if you want to mess with that. The Golden State Warriors side of things, so Steph Curry has just, he's there. 8,700. Not something I would expect to think for Steph Curry. But we could look towards Steph Curry, 87, going up against Soul Bud LeBron James. Maybe goes there, has a decent game. If Kuminga was here, I would love to play Kuminga today because he cooked last time versus them. Andrew Wiggins, you can definitely go there, 6,300. They're going to need him. Buddy Hield, Santos, Dennis Schroeder, Trace Jackson Davis. All these guys are GPP options to me. None of them really just stick out like, hey, I have to play them. I'm not too interested. Surprisingly, I'm honestly not too sure if I want to get pieces from this Washington and Phoenix Suns game just because it's Washington. And they're on the road. We know that they are a crappy team. But if we got to look at something, Jordan Poole, maybe. I mean, it's just weird. 6,700. I would probably look more towards the young guys. Koulibaly, Carrington, Kispert, Sarr. That's where I would honestly look if I'm going to just be very honest. I can't endorse. It's not that I can't. I don't want to endorse Jordan Poole, but 35 minutes versus the Clippers. 34 versus the Lakers, 45, 33. I mean, it's hard. it's hard. It's weird. If you want a late night hammer and you want to try to win the GPP, I could see maybe a Jordan Poole, but I'd have to look towards like the young guys. Koulibaly, I'd rather look there. I mean, he's been playing pretty great over his last two games on the road versus the LA teams. Hopefully he can do the same thing again here. He did put up in 36 minutes, 20.25 fantasy points. So that's a plus for him right there. Carrington, looking at him in 26 minutes, he dropped 20 fantasy points, dropped 31 versus the Clippers. I can maybe see myself getting there. And then Sarr, I know he's been playing pretty good. 33, 32 in the two games versus the LA teams, 36.75 versus the Phoenix Sun. So maybe we could look towards the young guys. I don't want to mess with Kuzma just because his minutes, they've been weird. He's not playing over 30 minutes the last two games, and you know they weren't bad games, but maybe we are starting to finally see the young guys and what they can do. So I'd rather go towards that route right there if I have to. And then Phoenix Sun side, I mean Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal coming back. That does throw a monkey wrench into things, but KD, Book, they're there. Nick Rich, we already know. Postal centers versus the Washington Wizards. It definitely is a thing. And I mean, he's gotten himself in a little bit of foul trouble so far, and they did blow out the Brooklyn Nets, so he didn't have to play too heavy minutes, but the rebounds that he is getting, I don't mind that, like the upside. So I could see myself possibly going there for that right there if I had to take something. But yeah, all right guys, that's honestly gonna do it for the breakdown right here. You know what? Just because I'm kind of feeling it, I'm gonna do a quick GPP core if I was to build out something for you guys. If I have to, again, I expect full-fledged for DPT to go ahead and be the starting center today. That's just straight up the value that we get out the gate right there. If I have to take a stud, and long as he plays, just because the matchup is good, I will run it back with his point guard in LaMelo would be where I would go right there as my starting point guard. 10-2. I know I got Cade, I got Trey, and all these other guys. I can see myself coming down to Trey Young instead, but Melo coming off rest, hopefully his shot is falling. I could see myself getting maybe a ceiling 50 plus fantasy point outing from LaMelo here, and I just really do like the upside for him. Versus the Pelicans, he hasn't played them this year, but he did drop 49 last year, so upside can be there, especially because they do give up a ton of threes, and hopefully his free ball will actually be falling. Outside of LaMelo, another set I really do like, and because I'm kind of leaning towards a final way to sit Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns. Good game versus a bonus. I can see the upside in regards to him just like having a field day out there with this. So I do actually like him as a potential play and someone that we can go to. And then outside of that, I know I talked crap about it, but I think maybe we can go towards Carson Carrollton as a value play as well for the late night. So that'll probably be where I would look. Just because he is playing pretty well. They've been doing decent out here on the road. Dropped 20 versus them, so not bad. Safe at 4K. Now again, I can, instead of going with Carrollton, I can go ahead and play Bruce Brown instead. You can go right there, but I don't mind taking a stab at Carrollton just to get that late night hammer out there for me. But this would be just a rough draft of possibly what I would start with. Definitely would start with DBT as it, and Towns probably my strong two that I really do like right there for a start for a core. Of course, more injury news as it drops, we'll get that. Gonna try to get a player pool, huge slate, a lot of stuff to go through, but good luck to everybody. Again, see you guys next, well, yeah, on Monday, and we'll be back. Won't be back tomorrow for Sunday. This is just a bonus for you guys for the week. Good luck to everybody. Peace.